Welcome back. If you check the current statistics, you will realize that Russia has been facing a massive drop in GDP per capita. Although this can be attributed to the Russian-Ukrainian war, this decline has been ongoing for a while. Except it wasn't that the numbers were dropping, it was actually that the Russian economy was declining in rank.
You see, Russia under Soviet rule ranked to be the second biggest economy, only lagging behind the United States, with Japan closely following them. The rankings did not differentiate much in the designated period. However, in 1995, Russian GDP turned out to be a fraction of what it was, and they weren't even in the top 10. Following this, mainland Russia could not even surpass developing countries like Brazil and was doubled by nations such as Germany, which once had the same GDP as Russia in the early 20th century. Still though, you might be curious, what caused the Russian economy to plummet so much? Once having a higher GDP per capita than European countries such as Poland, Romania, and Bulgaria, why is Russia currently plummeting and competing with China? What made Russia so poor? What saved the other pre-Soviet countries from having similar issues? Well, this issue has another reason behind it, a lack of economic diversity. Today, Russia depends on oil and gas reserves to compromise its GDP and keep its economy from plummeting. The government manages the central bank and the economic industry entirely, and it shapes the economy so that they can profit more from the oil and gas industries. Although this control created massive issues and kept Russia's GDP per capita from growing for 7 years, it gave Russia's upper class the chance to profit a lot more from the oil and gas exports. To compare, Poland and Romania have nearly no dependency on any natural resources. They do not have long coastlines, nor do they have massive marshlands, enormous potential for hydroelectric industries, and high populations for mass workforces. However, they sustained a high GDP per capita and kept their populations happy and developed. Russia had nearly all of those opportunities, however, did not have any major interest in investing or developing itself. Meanwhile, we can see that Poland and Romania both invested in several important industries for diversification, such as the automobile industry and the IT industry. For example, Poland became the capital of IT workforce flow in Eastern Europe, and Romania profited in mass numbers with its Dacia cars. Russia did none of those, and instead focused on keeping their oil hegemony strong, and making the other countries reliant on their mass oil and gas resources so that they could keep their strength. Although this strategy worked until this point, economists predict that Russia cannot keep doing this in the long run and should stop at one point to start major diversification movements. Now, let's come straight to the point. We mentioned that the Russian economy is overly reliant on its fossil fuel exports and is not diversified in the slightest. However, what makes their economy so fragile when they can just export more fuels and keep making money? There are two reasons behind this. One, Russia is not prone to European sanctions when it comes to their exports, and two, fossil fuels are losing importance in the new world of green and natural energy. With other countries seeking different substitutes for Russian gas, there eventually won't be any money left to gain, and Russia will lose its chance to diversify its economy. Their brilliant workforce will not stay in the oil petrostate. Workers will have worse conditions at work, officers will earn a lot less, and prices are going to increase a lot more. Investors won't prefer to invest in Russia due to safety concerns, and Russia's declining reputation will lead to its economic downfall.
To save itself, Russia needs to get into new industries, form better ties with the West, stop declining population and extensive migration trends, create a better atmosphere for investors to make them feel safe, and increase its quality of education. Otherwise, the situation seems dire, as the economy does not increase in the slightest, getting itself surpassed by countries like Italy. Today, we talked about the factors causing the decline in the Russian economy. Thanks for watching our video and supporting us. Don't forget to subscribe, and as always, it was Hefsal Times.